Good morning, second grade. So today we are going to do something a little bit differently since we are all in quarantine now. I'm going to do my very best to make this an interesting 2 weeks. So today in reading, we are going to become experts on our bug topics. So to do that, we're going to read pages 10 through 13 of Classifying Bugs in your exemplar pack. Since you don't have that with you, I have attached it to our slides. And while we read, we are going to work to find definitions of these different terms so that we can add those definitions to our glossary whenever we get back to school. And we're going to write those on our slides today. These are completely interactive slides whenever it is something that I want you to write. So we're going to define the word insect, arachnid, abdomen, antennae, and thorax. After we do that, we are going to write what we read in Classifying Bugs to help complete an organizer to help us to identify the types of bugs that we can encounter. And also we're going to continue our research on our bug and the different bugs that you can find pretty much. And we're going to answer research question number 1 today. So our objectives, it is I can read and comprehend informational text to gather information on a given topic. So that goes back to just what I was telling you that we are going to read in our exemplar text pack. And we're also going to gather information from those provided sources to answer a question. And those provided sources are on your ARC bookshelf, and you can also access those on Epic Books, and I'll show you that in just a little bit too, so that I can make sure you are still reading even though we aren't in school. Because remember, I always say that reading is so very important to help us grow bigger and smarter. So, our daily message for today. It says, hello, entomologist. Last week, you read about many different bugs and selected one to conduct research on. Today, we start researching our topics. We will spend the next 8 weeks working to learn everything we can about bugs and their ecosystems in each of our individual topics. We will start research question 1, and by the end of this week, each of you will be an expert on research question number 1 for your topic. Now, there's a strange word that I started this daily message out with. I want you to think, is there a word that you don't know what it means? Well, I know we haven't talked about the word entomologist yet. An entomologist is somebody who studies. What are we studying this week? We are studying bugs. So entomologist is somebody who studies bugs. Now, the word entomologist has a suffix at the end, ologist. Ologist just means one who studies. So you are all going to become entomologists by the time we are done with our research. And I keep talking about research question number 1. Well, research question number 1 is, what kind of bug is this and how do you know? So there's different kinds of bugs. Well, we know what they're called. Like, I would probably call this a grasshopper, but did you know not all bugs are the same? There's things that make them classified into different categories. Like if something's an insect, if something's an arachnid, a centipede, or a millipede, they're all going to be different based on their body, legs, wings, or even something different. And then you're also going to fill out this chart by giving examples. What kind of bug is an insect? What kind of bug is an arachnid? And I also want us to help find text evidence. So what book did you find it in? And maybe even what page was this available on? So why do we classify things? So I want you just to think, If we have different bugs, oops, sorry, that is our alarm today. So if we have different types of bugs, why would we classify them? Well, let's make it something that you're used to. Why would we classify something like fruits and vegetables? They're all food, right? Hmm. So why would we classify things? When you have an answer, what I need you to do is come down here to this little text spot. If you click it, you can tap on our screen and then you can type your answer. So why do you think we classify things? Why should we learn to classify bugs? So if we're classifying bugs this week, why is it important to know the different types of bugs? Why should we classify them into arachnids or centipedes or millipedes or insects? Why should we think about the different types of bugs? Why does that matter? Same as before, click your text and then you can type anywhere on the screen. So let's start by reading our classifying bugs book. So you see down here, we have these headphones and a play arrow. So on your computer, whenever you get to our slides, you can click on the headphones and it will make this pop up and then it will be available for you to listen. So let's practice that now. So I clicked on the headphones. Now I'm going to click on the play button.
We will be working on research question number 1 this week. Research question number 1 asks, what kind of bug is this and how do you know? To answer this question, we're going to start talking about classifying bugs and insects. Many bugs are insects. There may be millions of species or kinds of insects. Here are some you probably have seen. We have a firefly, a honeybee, and a housefly. Have you ever seen these bugs before?
Perfect. So Ms. Tucker just told us about the different kinds of insects that there are, and we talked about insects being a type of bug. So what do you notice about these insects? Do they have anything in common? So in common, that means things that are the same. So what do we notice that is the same about these animals? Well, let's look at our next page. Same thing. This one also has headphones. So if I click the headphones, I can then click on my play button.
How do we know if a bug is an insect? Here are some ways that you can tell. Count the legs. All adult insects have 6 legs. See if it has wings. If it does, it must be an insect. Look at the body. An insect has a 3-part body, a head with 2 feelers or antennae, a middle section called the thorax, and a third section called the abdomen. Study the diagram to see the different parts of an insect.
Okay, guys, so again, if we look at this, it's telling us the different parts of insects. So if we see down here, we have special words bold and in red. We talked about these last week as being text features. They are bold and in red to draw our attention to these words because they are important to our text. Antennae is the 2 feelers that are on the head of an insect. Also, a thorax is the middle section of the bug. Then, the abdomen is their third section. If we look at the picture, It also gives us a diagram that tells us the different parts of the bugs. So we have antennae, which are labeled right here, their head that the antennae are attached to, the middle thorax, and the abdomen, the last part, the third section of their body, and then their legs. How many legs do the insects have? That's right. All adult insects have 6 legs. We learned that in this portion of the text.
Classifying spiders. What if you find that your bug is not an insect based off of its characteristics? It might be a spider, a member of the animal group called arachnids. The first photo is a wolf spider. It looks pretty scary to me. The next photo is a garden spider. And the last photo is a cave spider. I wonder if you've ever seen any of these spiders before.
So a spider is a different type of bug than an insect. Well, let's learn to find out what makes spiders different from the other types of bugs. How to determine if a bug is a spider?
Here's how you can tell if a bug is a spider. Count the legs. All spiders have 8 legs. Does it have 2 body parts? The 2 parts of a spider's body are a cephalothorax and an abdomen. Spiders do not have antennae. Look at the diagram of the golden silk spider to see its cephalothorax and abdomen.
Perfect. So we already learned what an abdomen is. Remember, the abdomen is the third section of the body on an insect. Well, on a spider, the abdomen is just the last part of their body because the first part is the cephalothorax. They do not have the middle thorax. They only have the first, which is the cephalothorax. And then they have 8 legs. All spiders have 8 legs. So if it has 8 legs, it has to be a spider. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this golden silk spider has 8 legs, and that's what makes it a spider. Because remember, all spiders have 8 legs. So let's take a look at our vocabulary. So we have the word insect. What is an insect? How could we define what an insect is? Well, I remember that an insect, I'm going to click down here on my text, an insect has 6 legs. An insect has wings. So if any bug has wings, it must be an insect. But not all insects have to have wings. Is there anything else that you remember important about an insect? If you do, you can add it to our vocabulary slide. What about an arachnid? Arachnid. Well, if you need to, you can always go back in our book. So you can change your slides down here at the bottom using these arrows, and it's not going to lose the work that you have already done. So an arachnid, I remember that's one of the bold words on our classifying spiders. So down here it says It might be a spider or a member of the animal group called arachnids. So an arachnid is a spider. So if we're classifying, spiders are arachnids. So I can type an arachnid is an animal group for spiders. Now, what I want you to do, since we worked on insect and arachnid together, I would like you to define abdomen, antennae, and thorax. Remember, you can use the arrows at the bottom to find those words in bold red. Oh, look right here. On page 11, we have antennae, thorax, and abdomen. So, antennae, it says a head with two feelers or antennae. So I would find that definition, come back to our vocabulary slide, click on our text, and then I can type the definition. I would like you to do that on your own slide so that I can come back and check to see if you understand how these guide words work and what abdomen, antennae, and thorax are. What group do you think this bug belongs to? How do you know? Well, thinking about the different parts of the bugs that we learned about today, let's see. This looks like a beetle, but I don't know if a beetle is an insect or if it's an arachnid. So let's look at this bug. How many legs does it have? I feel like that's a great way to start to identify what kind of bug it is. 1, 2, 3. Well, this is one side of the bug, so I can see on the other side it probably has 3 more legs. So let's see how many legs that would be. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this beetle has 6 legs. It also has antennae, 1, 2, that it could use to feel. I'm not sure if this is an insect or an arachnid. Well, I also see that it has a head, it has a thorax, and it has an abdomen. Well, spiders don't have a thorax, and a spider is an arachnid. So if this has a thorax, this must be an insect. So I'm going to type, this is an insect, because it has 6 legs and a thorax. Do you notice anything else that would make this bug an insect and not an arachnid? Let me know if you do. You can type on this slide also, and you can draw and label on the picture using your tools at the bottom. I want you to work on identifying what kind of bug this is. What group does this bug belong to? Is it an insect or is it an arachnid? How do you know? Let me know what you think. Now, here is the part that I want you to work on. So we are going to read for your normal 30 minutes to learn more about your topic and today's research question. Remember, today's research question is, what kind of bug is this? How do you know? So even if you can't find any books on your research topic, that's okay. I want you to work on just reading about any kind of bug, and I want you to determine what kind of bug is it. Do you think it's an insect or do you think it's an arachnid? To do this, you're going to need to log into Clever. I'm logging into my Clever. Remember, my Clever is going to look a little bit different than yours since I am on the teacher side of things. And in Clever, I'm going to go down to Simmons Homeroom. It's the one with the little chicken on it. And click on Arc Bookshelf. So Arc Bookshelf is one way for you to find out things about different bugs. So here I automatically see a book about caterpillars. And so I can go to all books also, and that's going to pull up every single book there is that's available. And you can scroll. So Bunny loves bugs. The butterfly looks like this. There's lots of different books about bugs available. You're just going to have to scroll and search. I'm sorry, there's not one way to narrow this down. Caterpillars love to eat, so there's lots of different ways to find out about bugs. Now, we haven't learned about every type of bug, though, because we know caterpillars have way more than 6 legs, and they still have more than 8 legs. So that's a different kind of bug we're going to learn about. But it still will work for us to read about it. Also, I was told today about another great website called Epic Books. So if we go to Epic Books, you would log in under Students. This is the first time for Ms. Simmons to try this, so let's see how it works. Students and educators. Oh, look. And then we're going to log in with your class code. So let me continue with Google, and I can get you a class code so that we can search for good books for us to read. Okay. Sorry, guys. Like I said, this is Miss Simmons' first time. No account with that email found. Let me set up an account for us. Okay. All right. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up an Epic account for us. I will post the information in our Google Classroom for you, but I don't see me just sitting here making you wait through all of that. So look in the Google Classroom for the login information for Epic Books. If I can, I will try and post a link for you so that you can get that access. But I just want you to read for 30 minutes on bugs, try to determine if it's an insect or an arachnid. If it doesn't fit under those categories, we are going to find out more about those animals tomorrow. So 30 minutes, this video works for you to play a 30-minute timer. So whenever I click it, see, it just opens up that 30-minute timer to help you keep up with your reading. So what's something you learned about research question number 1 or your topic? I want you to think about that after your reading. Then you're going to write on your final project organizer to record information about your bug and about any other kind of insect. So insects, what kind of body do insects have? Well, I know that their body has 3 parts. That is an head, a thorax, and an abdomen. How many legs does an insect have? So that can be my next thing that I want to put in. So an insect, well, an insect has 6 legs. Does it have wings? Yes, if an insect has wings, if a bug has wings, it has to be an insect. So yes, if it has wings, it has to be an insect. And then other, is there anything else that you remember that could help you classify a bug as an insect? Remember, if you are not certain of those things, you can go back in your slides by clicking on those arrows to find this slide that tells us more about insects. So count the legs. All adult insects have 6 legs. Does it have wings? If it has wings, it has to be an insect. Oh, I see that insects also have antennae. So I can go back to other, on my chart, and I'm going to add that other is that insects have antennae. Okay. Perfect. And then under examples, is there a bug that you can think of that has these characteristics? Remember, on our book on pages 10 and 11, it gave us examples of these bugs. So a firefly, a honeybee, there's lots of other insects that we could list here. So you do your best, list whatever insect you think would be a great example to help you remember what is an insect? What does an insect have? And then text evidence. So where did you find this information? Did you find anything in the books you read independently? Or did you just use our classifying bugs book that we read together? Either way, that's fine. I got all of my information from our classifying bugs, so I'm going to write classifying bugs. And I found this on page 10 and 11. But this is all you are going to do for this. You're just going to fill it out. What characteristics does a bug have? And a characteristic is just a way to define. So what do you see whenever you look at these insects? And also, you need to give me an example and the text evidence. Text evidence is just where did you find it in the book? What book did you locate this information in? Since I did insect with you, you can go back and add more information if you would like, but I definitely want you to go in and do arachnid for me. For arachnid on text evidence, you need to go back to pages 12 and 13 on our slides. If you used a book in Epic or if you used a book on our ARC bookshelf, you can absolutely use that to help you find those defining characteristics. Just make sure you write it in text evidence up here. Remember, you use these arrows down at the bottom to navigate to find the pages of the book that you need. So 12 and 13 are the pages that tell us about arachnids. And then we have a new lesson, a new topic. So it says main topic. A main topic is what the story is mostly about. It can usually be identified in a few words. It's supported by key details within the text. So if we take a look at this picture, what is the main topic? What is this picture showing you? Well, I see a butterfly. I see a cocoon. This cocoon is on a branch. So looking at this picture, I'm trying to find out what is this picture mostly about? Is this picture telling me about butterfly wings, butterfly food, or the butterfly life cycle? What is this going to be mostly about? Well, butterfly life cycle, I believe, is what this picture is mostly showing us. So I would come over here and select butterfly life cycle. Now, at the bottom, it shows us a little check mark saying that you have answered it. I will get back with you and let you know if your answers are correct once you choose them. So I did the first one for you, butterfly life cycle. I believe that's the correct answer for what's the main topic because I see a cocoon and I see a butterfly. So I know that a butterfly comes out of its cocoon once it goes into that period of changing and metamorphosis from the caterpillar to the butterfly. So I believe this picture is about the butterfly life cycle. Next, I want you to examine this picture. Is it about sun safety, wearing flip-flops, or going to the beach? What do you think this is mostly about? Basketball scores, an umpire's responsibilities, or playing sports? What is the main topic of this picture? Would it be symptoms of a cold, going to the doctor, or feeling better? And then in the end, social living. So you can click here to access the normal things that you would see for social living in our class. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I hope this helps you. If you need anything, please feel free to reach out through me on Remind. I have this information posted in our Google Classroom. So have a great day, guys. I hope this helps some. Have a wonderful day again. Bye, guys.